Kate, we talked a little bit about resilience, and you've worked. I don't know what they're called now, Generation X, Z. Are they? I don't know where they are, but I'm interested in. I find it interesting when people seem to. So I still do some teaching. People seem to want my opinion and pay for my opinion, but then don't want to hear my opinion because I feel like I can't give my opinion. So I find myself second-guessing myself, trying to find a way to tell an actor what I think without them thinking that I'm saying what I'm saying. And I don't think that serves us very well because it means that we end up giving people false hope. I could be wrong. I often am wrong, but if you ask me for my opinion, then surely I should be able to give my opinion, whatever that opinion is. I just was interested in your feelings about that through your journey as an actor, in terms of your own resilience and the resilience of actors you might be working with now who are younger than you, whether that's changed.
Well, I'm now the oldest on most sets I go on. I'm like, oh, hey, oh, hi, oh, I'm the oldest, okay. Yeah, always. But first of all, these actors are so actually prepared. I don't know how resilient they are. They must be. They're super supportive of each other. I found this generation of actors in their late teens and 20s. I mean, Catherine Langford is from Perth, who played my daughter in 13 Years Away. She's incredible and like so prepared, because if you're sending a tape from Perth to LA or wherever, New York, then you better be really, really good and rock solid. So I was just, but they're also just generous and to work with for me, and they were just beautiful. I was expecting, and then when the show became a big hit in season 2, I was like, uh-oh, now we're gonna have trouble. Because I had that experience on Grey's Anatomy where like we became a big hit and then there's real trouble. Like egos, a lot of like madness. And these kids, maybe it's because they're raised with parents that really wanted to be parents. They were like, oh my God, I'm 50. They're raised by grandparents essentially. Like they're like, I really wanted you, really, really wanted you. I did a lot of IVF. I'm like here for you. But these kids are like, whoa. They're kind, and they were like fully prepared and really responsible and just lovely. So that was my experience. In terms of, I haven't taught, but I have friends that have been teaching, and hey, it's a big problem that people, the T word, triggered, that kids or young actors, a lot of them, they're like, I'm triggered by this work, I'm triggered. But that's the whole point of drama. It's all about the dark and nasty business and death and life and the horrible sordid underbelly of, it's not like we all had dinner, everything went great, and we went to sleep. No one wants to watch that, you want to see people fighting and killing each other, and I'm sorry, but it's, when I was coming up, you're doing scenes where you're, reenacting a rape, you're getting murdered, you're being, these are the things. Look at Shakespeare, people are killing each family members, So the point is to grow that container, and you have a safe space with a director or a teacher, right? Yes,
exactly.
So, and to learn tools so you're not walking around like a open wound psychodrama, And am I rambling?
No, it's great. No, it's great, because I think that's the idea that you said to me, you need to be a masochist.
Yeah, I did. I did say you have to be a masochist to be an actor.
To do this job,
you
to be an actor.
And even now, I sent you that thing that Eddie Redmayne was talking about, how he had done like an audition with first of all, casting directors, which they're the angels. Like they're the ones for me. I mean, now it's all self-tape, but still casting directors were the ones who taught me how to act, because I didn't know how to act for film or television. I was doing theater. And then they kept bringing me back, and they would teach me in the rooms how to act for the camera, and I would take classes, of course, but they were the real angels and sort of directors before you got on a set. But you were just like, whoa, rejection. And then you have some crazy teachers that are totally brutal. You're like, okay, I don't want to. I mean, I was like, there was one guy, I will not say his full name, but in Chicago, his last name was Lamort. It's literally the death. And you're like, I'm out. It was like one of those, I don't believe a word you're saying, get off my stage. I'm like, sorry, that's too much, that's too, like a schoolyard, I gotta get out of here. So I do think that benevolent teachers, but you gotta be honest, and you're gonna get frustrated sometimes when somebody's not honest or truthful on stage, and you're gonna have to be able to you take it and lick your wounds and get it. That's why you got to really, really want it if you want to be in this business.
Chris, you obviously trained over 30 years, 25 years, was it? You were head of acting at WAPA?
I was there full-time 25, yeah.
Full-time 25, so 18 a year audition?
Yeah. No, intake 18.
Intake 18.
We auditioned 900.
900,
yeah.
Okay. You take 18 students, 9 boys, 9 girls, and out of that 18, how many did you feel were absolute yeses?
Yeah,
how many were masochists?
How many were masochists? Yeah. Well, we asked them.
You do. It's the army. You have to be right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think we always used to say the first 12 kind of picked themselves. That we agreed and said, oh yes, that person is trainable, that will benefit from a 3-year acting program like the WAPA acting program. And the following 6, often we'd have a lot of debate about. And they weren't immediately, so it's very few, curiously enough.
What was because Kate's talked about that idea of, being a masochist, wanting to suffer. And I think it's so interesting, the idea that, you're drawn to, because you have to explore that. And if you do that authentically, then and the idea of method actors, I mean, people brand that about. If you're an actor, you engage in the character and the feelings and what's happening. I mean, I've found that. I don't know if there's an easy way to do that, but so you're looking at people. What was the quality of a student, of a applicant that was absolute for you? That you went, yes, they're trainable.
I think there's a kind of bravery I think I was always looking for. I mean, when I think back at Frances O'Connor, for example, who I thought is a remarkable actor, in my opinion. And I remember her, first audition for WAPA, which is really kind of brave and bold and out there. And, you think, of course, this person is going to be kind of trainable because she was bright and interesting. And she graduated with the piece that she'd written for her showcase, which was also kind of brave and bold about being captured by feminists. It was, hilarious and insightful and all the rest of it. And working with her, I guess you try and find an actor who's kind of go there or go with you, in my opinion, that you could make lots of offers and they would get excited by it and bring back much more to you. And so all the kind of the people who've done, you mentioned the kind of Hollywood, but Hugh Jackman and Francis and Jai and people, so forth. But they all had that quality, I think, of being bold and daring and able and willing to kind of go deeply into something. I mean, it's hard when you're auditioning people to ascertain that. So in a recall, we'd see 900 people and we'd recall small amounts, and then you'd really kind of try and push them into areas and think to see whether they can actually, go. There's probably the wrong way of putting it, but would take that risk of, because we're all armoured, right? We don't want to, show our vulnerability. And so for actors, it's the opposite. You have to show vulnerability and fragility and things like that, don't you?
Yeah.
In many ways, and that's really hard. And some people are just not willing to do that. Even after 3 years training, several people have said to me, I'm sorry, I just, I wasn't able to let that armour open.
So you directed Kate and myself. Did we do that?
Did we do?
Yes, you did, Dalip. You were amazing and open. And,